Hey everybody, welcome back. Erin here with In the Kitchen with Erin. So today I've been doing a lot of food prep. Just recently we purchased a freeze dryer. I've been dreaming of this for a year. And so over the summer, as I waited to pick up my freeze dryer, I started putting together all of my garden goodies. And if you want to see the update on my raised garden beds, I will clip that video up here at the top so you can always watch that, or it'll be in the description below. And so over the summer, I've been freezing all of my foods that I wanted to freeze dry so that once my freeze dryer, which it has frozen corn in it right now, I will be able to just take that 2-hour delay in between the cycles to let it defrost and then pop in my next batch. And so I even ordered an extra set of trays with lids and some silicone mats so that I can have those trays ready. I definitely want to make the most use of this freeze dryer. So some of the things that I'm prepping today out of the garden, and I thought I would just share with you a quick little tips. One is I'm making some refrigerator pickles with the homemade dill from my garden. And then I'm going to be also starting, because I also love to can. I've canned for 25 years. And so I love putting produce, and I've kind of tailored it to the specific things that our family likes. But I don't need salsa this year, and I grew jalapenos. So here I have over a pound of jalapenos that I got from my 2 plants. And I'm going to be making this spicy jalapeno jam. So I'll put that link below if you want to check out that recipe. A few other things that I've been working on. I cut up my green peppers already, so I've got a quart-sized bag of green peppers that are ready to go into the freezer once my trays are available. And I also wanted to mention this really cool banana slicer. So you could put more in here than just a banana, of course, but this made it super easy for freeze-drying bananas. And I heard that they're great snacks for little kids, especially if you're traveling. But you could also do eggs, strawberries, and just get them those really cute little slices. And then, in case you'd never seen this, I grew a different variety of zucchini this year. Somehow this guy got missed in my zucchini plant. And definitely this happens to us all. We miss a zucchini and then it turns into a giant thing. So anyway, my daughter, who loves to also bake, and we cook gluten-free for her, she wants to try zucchini flour. So I'm actually going to be coring this up, freezing it on the trays, putting it through the freeze dryer, and then grinding it up into zucchini flour, and we will be trying that in some recipes. So I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about that with all of you. So hopefully you found this video helpful and you found some new recipes to try, and I'll show you some of those other freeze-dried items that I got prepped this morning and in the freezer.
We decided to do the medium freeze dryer, which has the 5 trays and does about 22 cups of food. So here's the freeze-dried corn just out of the freeze dryer. It's crazy how crumbly it is, and it actually has a nice popcorn-like crunch to it. Next, I moved on to fruits, so I sliced up our Bing cherries, seeing as those are in season right now, and I started pre-freezing those in my tray, and I'm going to hopefully keep them loose. If you've never used a cherry pitter, this thing is awesome and definitely is so great because it takes the pit out of the seed, out of the cherry, and then you can just slice it in half to go into the freeze dryer. And once these freeze dried, they were really tasty, and I can see taking them traveling. Next on the list was blackberries that I just picked up at our local grocery store, as there was a really good deal on them. And these I'm just going to use in our oatmeals or to put on top of ice cream. We could even rehydrate them later and make a sauce or something like that for ice cream. Then here's the bananas that I cut with that banana slicer. The only thing I did find is that these melted really fast. And so future reference, I'm only going to quickly lay them on the silicone mat inside the freeze dryer, as it's going to be really hard to get these off the tray. Then, in case you have not seen this freeze dryer beginner book, it has so many great recipes in it. And this is where I got the chicken Creole little patties that you see in the tray. And so those I kind of just did in individual servings. So I'm going to freeze dry those up, put them in individual bags or jars, and then have those for quick lunches. They were super tasty. And then I had extra Roma tomatoes from my garden. So I started slicing those up and put them in between so that I can grind those up into a powder and add them to soups later. Also in this recipe book was a fruit salad. And so this one had me really curious as to how this would turn out. So here's what it looks like wet in the trays. And I do have the silicone mats below them, just in case it's stuck to the pans. I wanted to make sure I could get it out. Then here's what the fruit salad looked like after it came out of the trays. And I did add the tray of cherries in there, but it just broke up. So I just used my hamburger masher, broke it into smaller pieces, and put it in jars. Next is the zucchini. So we went and shredded this, and then I freeze dried it on the trays, and now I'm adding it to the blender to blend into flour. So once it was blended, I added it to a jar, but I just want to show you what it looked like in the container. It's like so powdery. We will just be using it in baked goods with flour. A great way to add extra vegetables. Next was our pear harvest. We ended up with 18
on the list
5-gallon
was
pails, so
pears.
I decided to freeze dry some of those pears to either rehydrate later or use in baked goods. We also made some juice. Here's those refrigerator pickles. Then I moved on to my apple mint and chocolate mint. And I'll show you in a second, but it's crazy to me how different the dehydrated looks from the freeze-dried.
So I just want to thank you for joining me in today's video, learning about the different things that I'm freeze drying and some of the fun things that we do here on the farm. So I hope you'll subscribe for more fun videos and quick tips on anything food.